him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack-a-ma-gob, everybody. It is time for the only news that matters. And with Ozzy Osbourne and Geezer Butler recently sharing their regret that Black Sabbath's retirement came without a final show featuring Bill Ward, the estranged Sabbath drummer has now publicly addressed speculation about a potential one-off reunion. Ward was initially on board to be part of Black Sabbath's 2010 reunion, but bowed out, over contractual dispute. The remaining three members went on to record the terrible 13 album with Rage Against the Machine's Brad Wilk on drums and Ozzy Osbourne's band's drummer Tommy Clufetos, let's just call him Clitoris, handling the drumming within the live setting. Though Black Sabbath officially disbanded following the final show in 2017, talk of playing at least one more date has come up as of late, with Ozzy Osbourne eager for a return to stage following health issues in recent years. In a message to fans shared through his social media, Bill Ward shared that he too would have interest in playing one more show with the group. He said, "I'm in for playing some of everyone's old favorites. Loved playing them then, and I would love to play them one last time. I'm not going to talk about my health publicly except to say every day is pretty good for a 76-year-old. I'm active musically every day, and I have a very busy and gratifying life." And he was not the only one. The idea of a potential final Black Sabbath show with the original four members was floating around the end of one of Ozzy Osbourne's Madhouse podcasts with his longtime friend Billy Morrison. Ozzy said, because it wasn't Black Sabbath that finished it. It's unfinished. If I wanted to do one more gig with Bill, I'd jump at that chance. As the episode was coming to a close, Osbourne told Morrison, "You know what would be cool? If we just went to a club somewhere unannounced and just got up and did it there. We started up in a club." And in the midst of the conversation, Osbourne spoke of the band's final performance and touring, noting, "It was sad because Bill wasn't there. Tommy did a great job, but it ain't Bill Ward." And a little side note I would like to say, Tommy is no Bill Ward, but man, if anybody is going to replace Bill Ward, Tommy's a good replacement, because Tommy is an amazing drummer. He just has a shitty last name. All right, and bassist Geezer Butler confirmed on Eddie Trunk that after a period of silence between himself and Ozzy Osbourne, they had resumed communication. The bassist then confirmed that he had spoken to Ozzy about the idea of a final Sabbath show with everyone involved, adding, he said, "Of course there's an interest on my part to do it, but there's a big but. You have to speak to Bill about it. Everybody wants to do it, but I just don't know if he is, capable of pulling it off." Ward had gone through some health issues during the early 2010 period, and he sat out of the band's final tour, and the group what do you mean he sat? He wasn't even invited. He said in a separate interview with Full Metal Jackie, Geezer Butler addressed the period saying, "Obviously, I love Bill to have been on the final album and the final tour that we did. I think Bill was a very proud person, and he didn't want to come along and just do the 3 or 4 songs. He insisted on doing the whole set and the whole album. And I think people said he wasn't up to it health-wise. And we couldn't risk booking a whole worldwide tour and then having it canceled in a few days. And so we respected that. We were all sad about it, but you know, he really couldn't do it. But yeah, I love Bill to have been on that last album and tour. As for Ozzy's attempt to return to playing live amidst his own recent health issues, Butler told Trunk, Ozzy was hoping to finish it off next year in Aston, the Aston Villa football stadium in Birmingham, England. And I'm definitely up for it, you know, to finish the whole thing off. When asked if there has been any discussion with Tony Iommi or Bill Ward, Butler responded, me and Ozzy have agreed, but I'm not sure about anybody else. He later went on to add that he would love to play a reunion show, even if it was just for a short set. As Butler stated, he and Ozzy had agreed to the idea if they could pull it off, and now Ward appears to have shown interest, which leaves guitarist Tony Iommi as the lone remaining member yet to comment on the idea. You know for damn sure Mr. Tony Iommi would do it. And by the way, Tony Iommi released a song today, an instrumental, a song called Deified, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was badass, better than any song off that crappy 13. And yeah, you know, I hate the fact that now, you know, Tony has said it, Geezer has said it, and Ozzy has said it. They all regret not having Bill on the last Sabbath album, and they all regret that Bill didn't do the farewell tour. And now they're all like, oh man, Bill, this. Man, why didn't you think of that before? It was such bullshit that was going on because they sat around and watched their friend, their drummer, get fucked over by management. And yeah, you know, later he said it was Sharon. You know, them giving him a stupid deal to do it, and he was kind of like, hey man, I'm part of this band. I am very important in this band. And it is very true. I mean, 13 proves it. You know, without Bill Ward there, it ain't the original Sabbath, I'm sorry. And, you know, he stuck to his guns. He said, I ain't doing this shit. But here's the thing, you know, a lot of people think, well, Bill Ward can't do it no more and blah, blah, blah. Well, back then he could have, man. He was part of the reunion, 11-11-11. That date, they had a conference, press conference, and Bill was there. And I think Bill could have pulled it off. About him now, I'm not sure. A lot of people are sure, though, because a lot of people online are also doctors. That they all say, Bill Ward can't do it no more. You don't know that for sure. I know the guy's had health problems and this and that. If anything, Ozzy is the one that can't do it. Just no way. The guy can hardly walk. And when he's on stage now, the last couple times he played, he had a little back brace behind him in case he fell. He's a mess. He's horrible now. He just can't pull it off. And let's say they do. They get Ozzy, they prop him up there with some, you know, with some stick to hold him up. You know for damn sure there's going to be tapes. There's no way Ozzy's going to sing live a full show. It's just, he can go up there and do Paranoid and War Pigs and Iron Man and walk off the set. He can't do more than that. No way. It was just a crappy ending to my favorite band. You know, I mean, I did see them because my ex-girlfriend got me front row seats to see them, and I wore my Bill Ward shirt, and I even photobombed them with my Bill Ward shirt. And Tommy was amazing. I cannot take that away from him. He did well. He should have played on the 13 album, if you ask me. That's another stupid thing. They took him out and brought in that guy from Rage Against the Machine that pretty much played like a, you know, it was pedestrian playing. There was no excitement, the Bill Ward excitement that Tommy can do. Rick Rubin, man, the guy is just out of his mind crazy. But whatever, man. I don't see this happening. You know, Ozzy's just too messed up. I think Bill Ward's got a better chance of playing a full set than Ozzy can. easily. And he's got the harder job. But, hey, man, all I can say is I am very happy I did get to see the reunion with Bill Ward. And it was the first show of the tour on the Ozfest, and one of those rare times where I saw Ozzy sing perfectly the whole set. Because a lot of shows, he was kind of hurting. Because the thing about Ozzy, man, is that he yells a lot in between songs. Let me hear you, let me go crazy. And, you know, after a few shows, it takes a toll on his voice. So that day he was nice and rested, first show of the tour, and it was amazing. I actually had a religious experience during Sweet Leaf, where I had some kind of weird, almost felt out of body-ish, man. But anyway, what do you all think? Do you think that it is possible for Black Sabbath to do a reunion show? I say no because of Ozzy, but, or, you know, if it does happen, it'll be with tapes. And, you know, it'll be somewhere where I can't go, and it'll be sold out before I even can get a ticket. But it doesn't matter. I got to see the original Sabbath, and I am content with that. So thank you all for watching The Only News That Matters. You all rock. I really do mean that. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. Leave your comments below about this whole thing with Sabbath. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.